Watching Obsession felt like seeing people I had just met experience a horrifying tragedy. I saw that what was happening to the characters was horrible, but I didn't connect enough with them to care. The story is told through Bear's perspective. He's an agreeable, polite guy with no real sense of direction. His cat just died. Nothing really motivates him to get up in the morning, except for Nikki, whom he has a crush on. Some might say he's obsessed with her. We also see that Nikki has strong feelings for Bear, though it's unclear as to whether or not they're strictly platonic. Their feelings toward one another developed entirely off-screen. The audience's journey with them begins at the defining moment in their relationship. Because I was brought in at the defining moment, I wasn't very invested in the characters' emotional states or their dynamics. At about the 10-minute mark of the movie, I thought, let's just get to the wish already. Unfortunately, things didn't really pick up after the wish because the horror wasn't all that scary to me. The sequence involving the cat showed me how inhuman Nikki became, but I didn't find it scary. As chance would have it, I actually predicted the sandwich scene. Literally right when Bear pulls the sandwich out of his lunch bag, I turned to my wife and said, I bet you she put the dead meat from the cat in that sandwich. I'm positive I was supposed to discover that with Bear, not before him. The scenes where Bear discovers that she duct taped his living room door shut and relieved herself on his living room floor, Merry Christmas, were additional examples of how crazy, inhuman, and obsessed she became. But again, I didn't find them scary. I don't know if those scenes were supposed to be scary. I think some people did find them scary, but let me know down in the comments what you thought about them. I felt that one of Bear's major struggles in the first part of the movie involved coming to grips with the fact that who Nikki was off-screen isn't who she became on-screen. But that felt more like his struggle than mine. Had I been included in seeing the growth of their relationship to this point, the early scenes might have resonated more with me. Personally, they just adequately proved that she was going off the deep end. After Bear calls the I'd like to retract my wish hotline, the horror scenes get progressively more intense. All of the horror scenes felt like the movie's way of showing me the depths of Nikki's obsession. But I got the point after the first 3 or 4 examples. I knew she would take things to the extreme if pressed. When Bear snuck away to meet Sarah, I knew she was gonna get it. Ever since that party scene, Nikki was like, When she started smashing Sarah's face into that brick, I thought, this has been a fairly popular choice of death in the last few horror movies I've seen. Don't get me wrong, the scene was intense, but I'd seen it a few times before. Finally, Bear tries to get his BFF Ian to make a wish that would reverse Bear's wish. That scene was highly disappointing to me because it felt like all the other scenes in horror movies where you need the characters to lose all intelligence in order for things to move forward. But this situation was mission critical and required Bear taking the utmost care in his approach to Ian. I get that Sarah had just been killed right in front of Bear and that Ian was possibly feeling some sort of way toward Bear because Ian had had a little fling with Nikki. Those are all great reasons for the plan not to work. Instead, he came in like Arnold Schwarzenegger on cocaine in the middle of a war zone. And he's like, make a wish, come on, do it now. Why do you hesitate? It's a shame the execution fell so flat for me because the themes this movie explores, love, obsession, free will, the consequences of avoiding suffering, those are all very compelling themes. It's rare that I don't like a movie that resonates with both audiences and critics, but I give this movie a 4 out of 10. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but let me know down in the comments what you thought of it. But that's my take on the movie. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.